talk to them boys that sit on them benches. I never talk to them boys that sit on them benches. I was in the game on 4th and inches.
What is going on? Mic check. Oh man, this sounds terrible. You should really be in the sound absolutely terrible. Clean up. Come down, man. How to get me? Mic check. Mic check. Thumbs up, thumbs down on the sound quality. I mean, we got to get the mic, y'all. It sounds bad on my end, but maybe it's coming in different for y'all. Maybe it's not as bad for y'all. Let me know, man. Just a quick thumbs up, thumbs down, or is the sound quality decent for y'all? Okay, everybody's saying I'm good. Okay, good. All right. As long as it's good for y'all, man, that's all that matters. What is going on, everybody? It's your boy POLK, a.k.a. A.Lo, a.k.a. the Goddamn Truth. And FSU family, Seminole Nation and 863 tribe, here we are. Here we are. Panama, I'm just using the only reason I'm using the background because I'm not we're still working. Let's put it like that. My mic hasn't got here yet. So we still working. Don't worry, man. We still working. We still getting our stuff together. But what up with you? Interesting weekend, man. Interesting weekend. But before we get started, as always, we're going to hit this roll call real quick. So if you want that roll call shout out, get in them comments, man. But we had a little interesting weekend. And of course, like every time something happens in this great fan base we got, you got one side on pure panic mode and the other side on roses and rainbow mode. Like no one can do no wrong on one side and no one can do any right on the other side. So as always, I'm going to be the man in the middle to bring some unbiased, real opinions to the situation. That's what I do. I give you the real, not the fluff, not to make you feel good, and not to be mad just because it's cool to be mad. I give you the real, and that's what you're going to get from me today. But before we get into all of that, Chris Robinson is in the building. Ray Fitty, Kusami Haynes, Raul Torado, Panama Jack, Zoe Zuki, Till Dog, Priscilla Chestnut, EMG, Anthony Cheers, Jarvis Jennings, Robert Garcia, No Power, Todd Pope, Florida State Love, member of the 863 Tribe. Montre CV, our resident Gator fan, is in the building. No Power. Serve 5, member of the 863 Tribe. FSU Tony, 863 Tribe. Panama Jack. Oh, they already said you Panama, but that's cool. You get 2 shout outs. Mayan King, our biggest hater that's ever been. New King, what's going on? Timmy in the building. The Boxing Monster, member of the 863 Tribe. And nope, I already said you Kusami, but you'll get a second shout out as well. And Kusami Hayes in the building. Antavius Woody. We're going to start off with Woody because it's looking like it's official. I was skeptical. Yeah, I was skeptical, but it looks like by multiple reports that Woody has been cleared and he's academically eligible, which is amazing news. That's 6 offensive linemen in this recruiting class. Again, me personally, I will put Woody at D tackle, fit him in that defensive tackle rotation personally. But I don't think Atkins is going to let him go. I think Atkins is going to fight to keep him on that O-line. We probably don't need, a lot of depth on that O-line. I will say that if Woody stays on the O-line, I think he's either I'm leaning towards he's 6'3", but he has a very long wingspan. I feel like he could be a dominant guard, but it wouldn't surprise me if they threw him at center either. But he's definitely going to be on the inside of that offensive line. And again, he's supposed to arrive on campus tomorrow. Hold on, am I skipping? Let me close that out. Make sure I'm running good. Okay. I was lagging a little bit. But yeah, man, I would put him. I think he's probably more of a need at the defensive tackle spot. Personally, I mean, you're talking about a defense. You know me. I give Odell a hard time, but you talk about a defensive room that has Bishop Thomas and Daniel Lyons and Woody. I think that's a solid. But again, I think he's definitely going to be interior O lineman, and I think he might end up being a really good one. And I think it speaks to his work ethic. I saw some people questioning, like, they're worried about his work ethic because of the grades. And I'm saying the fact that the man worked his butt off to get the grades, I feel like you should feel the opposite. You shouldn't be worried. You should be encouraged by the fact that a guy who we've known for better part of a year was going to be a long shot on the academic side of being eligible. The fact that he was able to work his way to being eligible, I think is, round of applause. Kudos to Woody. I think it shows that you're getting a guy who's ready, man. Who's ready to contribute and be a major factor. Probably not year one, but the fact that, again, he worked on here just to get it done. And that's a plus. Damian Adams, I feel like you were a member before Damian, but shout out to Damian Adams. He just became a new member of the 863 Tribe. I thought you were already a member, Damian. Maybe you were and you weren't, and then you canceled. That's okay, man. Welcome back to the Tribe. We're glad to have you back. Glad to have you back.
Yeah, get more money. Yeah, get more money. Yeah.
This comment is hilarious. So yeah, that's the first thing I want to get out the way, man. Damian Adams. Look at you. Antavius Woody, man. Coming in here and being academically cleared to play football. I think that is very, very good news for Mr. Adams. I keep saying, Damian, you got my mind all twisted up for Antavius Woody and the Florida State Seminoles. Sorry. Next person I want to hit on here, man. He visited June 8th, Justin Turrentine That's that 6'6", 337-pound offensive tackle out of South Carolina. He started last year for South Carolina. I hope we get this one, regardless of what people may have to say. The guy started for South Carolina in the SEC. Don't tell me he can't come here and add more depth and possibly be a starter for us. So he was on campus. He visited June 8th. So about 4 days ago, he visited. Don't know how long that visit lasted, and I don't know exactly what became of the visit. But that's a name to watch, guys. That's a name to watch. Let me know how's my connection going? And then I already saw somebody ask, man, Damon David. I'm gonna bring this one up on the screen because I think this one is is one of those that there he is. This is one of those prospects that I believe Florida State needs to land this one. We kind of sometimes we get in the, how do I say, we say we can't build a team through the transfer portal. Well, players like this are the type of players that, yes, you can indeed build a team through the transfer portal, because this is a kid, as you can see, fairly decent player coming out of high school, has 4 years of eligibility. Damon David, 4-star. He originally out of Maryland, went to Oregon. I believe he suffered some type of shoulder injury that he's healed from. He has 4 years of eligibility. And this is the type of portal player that I think you can build a team on, because this is essentially you're adding another freshman to this group, right? You're adding a guy with 4 years. So you're adding a freshman to this group, and you're adding a freshman who has already been in college for a little bit. So that transition period that most freshmen have to go through, well, Damon David should be past that. He's a safety. So, I know they've been looking to add another DB to that room. Well, I hope they found him. According to him, he's a very good friends with Trey Benson. Of course, we already have added 2 guys from Oregon to this team. So I'm all for making it 3. I'm intrigued by him. 6'1", 178. So he's a little bit on the lean side, but he has some height. I'll be interested to see exactly where he plays. Is he really a safety? Do they want to put him at one of the DB spots? But I'm all for bringing him in. I'm all for bringing this young man in. And I think he's a good get. If we get him, I think he's a good one. Before we go, let's go to the comments, man. Let's go to the comments. Marcus says, "What up? The FSU coaching staff is wait and see mode with these recruits and vice versa. I don't know. I don't know why people are overreacting. It's June. Last year we started out fast, and look what happened." I'm gonna touch on the recruiting, man. I'm gonna touch on how I feel about it. I'm specifically about what happened this weekend, and I'm gonna touch on it. I had the wrong information on my monthly, so it's all good, Damon. It's all good. My 14-year-old son is here in North Carolina with me for the summer. Told me that he's playing football next year in Ohio. Get this, he's 6'2". We're hitting the gym. What position he played? No power. What position? Some people are saying he was lazy at South Carolina. I heard that. I heard he was lazy, but guess what? That's on coaching. If he's lazy, that's on coaching. He was lazy enough that he started for them and played against defensive lines like that Georgia one and stuff like that. But he wasn't that lazy that they benched him. Alex Atkins will get the most out of him. I want him. I absolutely want him. Todd Pope says we need another linebacker. We need one linebacker. I believe FSU is going to start showing the money in upcoming recruiting battles with Alfred and the new booster hire. Kane Zay in the building. Todd says he likes the Harris twins. Polk, Michigan State literally built the team through the transfer portal. They won a lot of games. Now they hired them fish grease on the recruiting trail. These recruits want to see Florida State win. Defensive end. If we win 7, 8, or 9 this year, recruiting will take off. I don't know about that 7, but 8 or 9, you might be in the right there, Brandon. Boxing Monster says recruiting is dead. Rest in peace until Deion Sanders is made head coach. We should just give up. Hold on, guys. Let's we'll keep that up. Take this off. Trying to make sure my connection keeps. It's saying I got a poor connection, but I think I'm okay. Let me know if I'm lagging, guys, or the connection's not looking too good. I don't know what's going on with the computer today. Sound started off terrible. Now it's saying I got poor connection, but I look like I'm doing good. So just keep me updated. But Georgia Ron says Norvell's a nice guy, very likable, but he's not the answer to get us back to competing for championships. I've seen all the red flags that I need. Recruits know it as well. Coming from Georgia Ron. What about the D tackle that reclassified? Who are we talking about there, Ray Fitty? Not too sure who you're mentioning there. Not too sure who you're mentioning there. Recruiting ain't taking off under Mike, period. It's a wrap. He's not the guy. And thanks for that. You say you're not lagging. Okay. So let's get to it, man, because y'all ready to talk about it. But first, I want to talk about the JUCO. I want to talk about the JUCO, Mr. Jayden Jones. I'm going to bring him up on the screen, actually, just so we can get a look at him. Where is it at? Jayden Jones. There he is, Jayden Jones, 6'6", 240 JUCO, unranked JUCO player. Look, my thoughts on Jayden Jones. I looked at a little bit of some highlight tapes. I believe it was him coming out of high school. I looked at his tape. First of all, he has D1 size. So first of all, what I always tell you guys, can't teach size, can't teach speed. Right? These are things that you just are born with, God-given gifts. He's got a Division I size. He's 6'6", 240. 240. You got him 240 here. What I read, he was listed at more of 245-ish, 250-ish. As far as I'm concerned, D1 size. Can't teach that. He's extremely raw. He needs a lot of coaching from what I've watched. A lot of wasted movements in his raw, untrained, undisciplined type of prospect here. But he's intriguing to me. Again, if you're going to take a guy, you take a guy that's built like a defensive end, right? You take a D1 prospect and see if you can turn him into something. I do see athleticism with him, right? So I do think he's athletic enough to play. Can he grasp the coaching? Do we have the coaching to teach him? Because again, I think he's extremely raw, and I think he needs a lot of coaching. I think he needs a lot of work on his technique. He needs a lot of work. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. He's not a guy. Again, he's a 2023 kid, right? So he's not a guy that probably is gonna contribute year one. Probably not. And that's not what you really want to say out of a JUCO kid, to be fair. Usually when you start pulling from the JUCO ranks, you want to get a guy that's going to contribute. But again, just a little disclaimer, I was watching, I believe, was high school tape. I couldn't find anything from him at the JUCO ranks where it says he goes to Hutchinson. I couldn't find any. What I believe I watched was high school. So hopefully, and again, he still has a whole nother year of JUCO, I'm assuming, right, with a 2023. So, hopefully by the time we get him, he's a little bit more defined in his movements. And but man, if you've seen his body, he has he doesn't look 240 to me. I looked at the pictures of him. He looked 220. which tells me if he's 240, if he's legit 6'6", 240, I think he's legit 6'6". But if he's legitimately 240 pounds with that slender frame that he's got, he's got a lot of weight he can put on. He has an ideal frame that you can add a lot of bulk to. So those are the things I'm intrigued about. But he needs a lot of work. All right, he needs a lot of work, and I'm not gonna pretend that he's gonna come in here and give you 10 sacks year one or anything crazy like that. Needs a lot of work, but I'm not mad at this take at all. I'm not. I know a lot of people are up in arms. I'm cool with it. I'm honestly cool with it. Let's see what y'all saying in the comments. You guys in the chat are very negative. You can't honestly expect a team who's won 8 games in the last 2 seasons to pull an elite recruiting class. The man is going into his 3rd. The QB that looked like Nipsey Hussle going to be good. He going to Tennessee. I don't know who Kane say is talking about. I think I know who you're talking about. I forget his name though, but I think I know. JP will get him right. Last season we were at blown coverage and a turnover and Clemson game away from Clemson. Kusami, to your point, that's why to me 7 games isn't acceptable. Because we were that last year. So if you want to show progression, that's why I believe, you say a blown coverage, but I can argue it was a bad defensive call. You know what I mean? But I think we watched last year enough to know that this was probably a 7-win team, at worst a 6-win team last year. And we underperformed. And a lot of that had to do with coaching, if we're just being 100% honest. That Jacksonville State game is 100% on the coaches. But anyway, we're not even really here to talk about that. But we're going to get into that a little bit later. That's why for me, you win 7 games this year. To me, you don't prove anything. You're just showing that you're stagnant. If you think 7 wins and a trip to the Sun Bowl is going to jumpstart recruiting, I think you're highly mistaken. 7 wins and a trip to the Pinstripe Bowl ain't going to get it done. I just got realistic news for you there. Robert Garcia says he sat out a year. Jay Bless says, y'all think we can fall back on Coach Prime when it don't work out with Mike? Price go up every day. He will shun us like we did him. We don't deserve Coach Prime. Dang. Yes, he did. He's a 3-star, but he's a big boy. Ray 50. He's a big boy. These kids have been recruited by this staff since they were freshmen and sophomores. They are now seniors and juniors. They have not seen a climb in a winning program. The message is stale. Robert Garcia says he agrees with something. We're picking over scraps. Might lose. I really don't care if we lose Parsons, if I'm being honest with you. I think there's better quarterback options than Parsons, but I know everybody's just happy to have a quarterback. That's the point. He's only won 8 games in one of the weakest ACCs we've ever seen. We're getting off topic. Let's talk about Jayden Jones. Let's see. Who's talking about Jayden Jones? Nobody's talking about Jayden Jones. Anyway, I'm intrigued with Jayden Jones. Again, he's a JUCO guy. He raw prospect. But this is the prospect that everybody really wants to talk about. This is the one that has the entire, as you can see, the comment sections, they're up in arms. Everybody's doom and gloom. Everybody's pissed off to the high heavens. And I'm going to bring, again, here we go. I'm going to bring some stuff y'all might not expect out of me. Quindarius Jones. Let me bring him up here. Hold on. Nope, not that one. Let me bring him up. I'm going to give y'all a little history lesson real quick. This got nothing to do with the young man. Listen, do I think we need to be recruiting primetime targets? Absolutely. Quindarius Jones, athlete. They got him listed as an athlete. I mean, on here they have him listed as a linebacker. Other sites have him as an athlete because he's a safety / potential linebacker. 6'2", 187 out of Mississippi. No stars, not even ranked. from what I gathered, FSU is actually the first camp he's ever attended. So it kind of makes sense why he's so far under the radar. Let me tell you why I'm going to defend this take. I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you why I'm going to defend this. And people can disagree, but I think I'm going to bring some logic to it. I'm going to throw some names out here because we've seen this over the years. This isn't the first time we've done this. Y'all remember a kid named Luke Altmaier? Do y'all remember a kid named Charles Cross? What about Travion Williams? What about Nigel Kelly? What do all these kids that I just mentioned have in common to this young man? They were either unranked or really low ranked when FSU offered them. This isn't the first time Florida State's done this. Nigel Kelly was like in the 600s when he was committed to Florida State. He blew up to like a top 100 player, or definitely top 150. I believe he ended up in the top 100. Nobody had any qualms about that. What about Charles Cross? Charles Cross was an unranked offensive tackle, undersized, only 6'6", 270 when he committed to Florida State. Out of Mississippi, FSU offers him. All of a sudden, by midseason, the kid's a 5-star. He went from unranked to 5-star. I'm not saying this young man's a 5-star. I'm not saying that. Luke Altmaier was another one. 3-star, not really a coveted quarterback. All of a sudden, Florida State gets a commitment out of him. Boom, bumps all the way up to a 4-star. One of the more sought-after prospects at quarterback that year, wasn't he? And something similar happened to the Travion Williams last year. I bring all this up to say, if they got him on campus, they got him against the top talent in that camp, and they saw something they like, I'm all for it. I have no problem with getting the kid on campus, evaluating him, and then throwing him a scholarship. That's what you're supposed to do. In contrast, if you guys remember, I was vehemently against the Brian Courtney scholarship. Not because I have anything against Brian Courtney, but why would you offer him a scholarship before you ever got him on campus? Another unranked prospect no one had ever seen or heard of. My problem with that one was that they took a commitment from him before he ever got on campus, before you could ever see if he was any good, before you ever got him around any other prospects, any of those other top tier prospects at these camps to see if Courtney could even compete. Now, ultimately, Courtney, I guess, he showed some good stuff when he eventually did get on campus, but by then he was already committed. That's the whole point of the evaluation process, folks. You get them on campus, you scout them, you evaluate them, and you get out in front, and hopefully he sticks. Here's the problem that nobody's talking about. Forget the unranked. Forget that he doesn't have any rankings or no stars. Forget all that. The problem is, how many times has Florida State done this and actually signed the player? That's the problem that nobody wants to talk about. Yeah, you did it with Nigel Leak, and he's in Miami. You did it with Luke Altmaier. He's at Ole Miss, correct? Travion's at Mississippi State. Charles Cross ended up in Mississippi State and he's in the NFL now. That's the problem that nobody's talking about. It ain't the fact that he has no stars. I will almost guarantee you by midseason, you're looking at a 4-star prospect right here. They're not stupid. They've seen football players before. They know what they're looking at when they watch Quindarius Jones play against these other high-rated kids. They know, come on now. If anything, we can question a lot about Norvell and staff. I don't think their evaluations have been off. Now, they have taken some kids that we kind of knew, but I think they took kids like Kobe Gross and Jordan Eubanks. To be fair, that was the height of the COVID era, and you were taking kids for numbers at that point. I don't think you were really taking those guys because you really thought they could play, if we're being honest. You took some kids for some numbers and maybe hope they can pan out. No coincidence that all of those guys are gone. So the issue isn't with Quindarius Jones and his unranked, that fact that he's not ranked. You guys can get over that. I have faith that a bunch of football coaches watched this kid and said, okay, we got us one. The problem is, can you keep him? The track record says by October, he's going to be committed to one of the Mississippi schools. That's the issue. The issue isn't whether or not this kid has 5 stars, 4 stars, is ranked 400 or 200. The issue is once he finally does start creeping up on everybody's recruiting board, he's probably using this scholarship as a way to get the recruiting bump, and then he's going to hop over to one of the Mississippi schools because that's what they always do to us. So can Mike and company close the deal? That's the issue. So, yeah. Damian Adams in the super chat, $5 says Cross went from no star to 5-star to first round. Again, this isn't brand new. This isn't brand new. I don't know why everybody's in panic mode about this. This isn't brand new, man. We've seen this before. But all of a sudden, I know, I get it. It's doom and gloom for the FSU fan base, so we're going to sit here and we're going to cry about it. That none of this is the issue. The issue is, can you end up keeping them? Chat record says they won't. That's the issue. But appreciate you, Damien, with another with a super chat. Me and Jameis, thank you very much, my friend. Let me go up to more of these comments, man, and see what y'all thinking. Georgia Ron says, love the Mississippi kid, but the problem is Norvell stinks it up. There you go. Georgia Ron. So me and Georgia Ron on the same page. It ain't about the listen, it is about stars, but in this particular case, no. Now, the bigger problem, and we'll touch on the bigger problem here in a second, other than keeping them. There is another problem that I do want to touch on. But me and Georgia Ron, we on the same page. You got nothing. The problem is, do you keep him once he finally gets the recruiting bump, which will inevitably come? That's the problem. And again, the track record says you don't keep him. From what I gather, he was shutting down 4 stars in the elite camp workout. Right. I heard the same things. I'm not even paying attention to this troll right here, but man, get out of here. Prime lost to 6-5 South Carolina. What are we talking about? We're talking about Prime. We ain't talking about Prime. Devontae Freeman was low ranked when FSU offered. He surely was. A high 4-star by the time he hopefully comes to FSU. I do think that he will be a 4-star when it's all said and done. Oh, Devon Mortimer was another one that I didn't mention. Low-ranked wide receiver, eventually became a 4-star, but of course he dipped as well. So the track record's there. They offer kids when they're low, they boost up and they go elsewhere. That's what you should be worried about. Don't worry so much about the rankings at this point. We can't fire Mike. I don't care if we win 4 games this season. Let his contract expire and then not renew him. We can't keep firing guys. It's gonna turn. Well, your athletic director would beg to differ. Let Mike win 4 games if he wants to. He's out the door, and I guarantee you that. Your new athletic director ain't playing no games. So the guy calling the shots would beg to differ. Hold on. Chat jumped on me. Yep, they want him at DB. Jones should have stars by now. No stars now is like having negative stars. Well, if you never went to any camps, no, you're not really going to have any stars. Again, I don't know how true that is. They say that the camp this past weekend was his first camp ever attending. POLK, that's the case with Vickers. FSU had a good season. FSU has a good season. He's coming to FSU, not Oklahoma. POLK, I said the same thing. If his rating goes up, here come Prime going after him. If it comes down to money, we won't lose any over that issue. We just didn't know how to play that game. POLK, what does that really have to say about these SEC coaches when the no-star kids in their backyard can't see the talent, but FSU can? They're letting. Let me put it to you like this, Anthony. They're letting, and I hate to say it like this, but the facts are the facts. They're letting the Mike Norvell level, like the Lane Kiffin, Mike Leach. They're letting Mike Norvell scout players for them while they go after some bigger fish. I mean, unfortunately, that's the game they're playing. They're letting Mike do the work for him. They understand the position that Mike Norvell's in. Mike Norvell is out here. He doesn't have the cachet to recruit against. I mean, let's just be honest about it. Mike Norvell does not have the cachet to recruit against big-time head coaches in the South. So what Mike has to do is he has to go out, he has to work a little harder, he has to scout a little longer, he has to really try to find some of those gems. And there's nothing wrong with that. The problem with that is you're not really doing it in your own backyard. You're doing it in Mississippi, and these kids don't necessarily grow up being Florida State fans. So all of a sudden, they get an offer from Florida State, which is the first big D1 offer they get. They take it, and now they got the attention of the Mississippi States and the Ole Misses. And now they can kind of go to the schools that they really want, because once Florida State is offering you, now Lane Kiffin, now Mike Leach, now they're going to pay attention. Okay, who is this kid? They weren't paying attention. Remember Travion Williams? They weren't paying attention to him before, and then Florida State offered him. He gets bumped to a 4-star, and now all of a sudden, you see what happened. It's been happening for the last few years. Again, that's the issue. Not so much his ranking, but the fact that if he is as good as they think he is, he's probably using Florida State for some leverage, if we're being honest. Yeah, I see you, man. I figured I see you. Yeah, man, we see it every year. Those Mississippi guys don't leave the state. This staff doesn't have a problem identifying the talent. It's who and how they choose to go after that bothers me. We ain't got nada until we win these games. Ain't none of these 4 or 5 stars interested in FSU till we show something. Obvious but true. Saw he just started playing football is this year. I don't know if he just started playing football or not, to be honest with you, Jay. I don't know. That I don't know. As a matter of fact, I don't even know. Does he have? He has a highlight tape. He has a junior season highlight. Y'all want to watch? How long is it? Hold on. Y'all want to? Let's check it out. Why not? Let me get through these comments and then let's check out his highlight tape. Let's see what Mike sees. Let's see if we see what Mike sees. That's a problem. Can Mike close? Has he closed? Have we seen him close on anybody? I don't know. There you go, man. Letting Mike do the heavy lifting. That's the truth. Can't get kids in Tallahassee or South Georgia where there is smoke, there is fire. And Robert says some kids take offense that no other schools have offered. Let's check out this highlight. Let's see. I want to see. Let's see. Let me share real quick. Let's look at him. Yeah, he does have a highlight tape, which I haven't looked at. Let's see what we got. Let me mute that. All right, man. Let's see. Is he 16? I'm assuming I missed out on the arrow. Okay, so that looks like him playing safety right there. Yep, now he's playing safety again. Let's just see what he's looking like. He's long for sure. That was a terrible throw, but hey, at least he caught it. He looks the size. I'll say that. He is definitely long and rangy, if nothing else. Do like a solid tackler. He almost got stiff arm there, but he still makes the tackle. So, yeah, he is 16. Yeah, forced the fumble. Tape's only 3 minutes, so. I mean, I don't know. Nothing really jumping off the screen. I'd like to see. Again, I think that was a poorly thrown ball. Okay, let's see what he does on offense. Let's see if the athleticism starts to shine. He's at the top of your screen right there on the screenplay. Gets a couple blocks. Okay, you got a little. Okay, so you got a little bit of straight line speed. It looks like. Okay, yeah, he just takes the top off the defense on this play. So he's definitely got some speed. He's got some length. Here he is at the top of your screen, I think. Yeah, he's just running straight past the defenders. That's a better thrown ball. He walks into the end zone anyway. So he looks like he's got the speed. He's playing in Mississippi, so good hands. It's like he's got some good hands. Yeah, he's got good hands. That's a tough catch, and he got it. All hands. And look at it. They're just throwing jump balls up to him, and he's going to get it. So he looks athletic enough to me. Look, another jump ball gets it. I don't know, man. We might need to play him at wide receiver. The way our wide receiver recruiting looking, I'll take him. It might maybe need to be a wide receiver for us. I think they like him at safety, but I'll take him at receiver. Man, 18, you're too little, buddy. You're sorry, buddy. You too small. The screen passes are what I like to see. Can he make something out of nothing? Oh, man. I think he dragged him into the end zone right there. Top of your screen. This might be the last play. Last play to highlight. All right, so what do you guys think? What you guys see? What did y'all see, man? Tara, how you doing? Thank you for showing up. And Tara with the $10. Shout out to Tara with the $10. And she's a member of the 863 tribe. God, I love you guys.
Clickety clank, clickety clank. The money goes into my piggy bank.
Giuseppe says, look like a poor man hamster. He's built like him, right? I can see what you're saying there. He's built like him. He's long, he's rangy. Davies doesn't see anything special. Joe says Tamarian Terry-esque. His film looks solid. Deerfield, not impressed. Kid looks fluid. I agree. I think he looks fluid. Fluid athlete. Can he cut in and grab? Good at receiver. 3-star tape. Did they not have a receiver over 500 yards last season? I think Todd's talking about us. If you're talking about us, no, we did not. He'll be awesome for third downs. So the question is where they use him at. Again, I think from everything they're saying, they like him at DB. They like him at DB. I don't know if it's true, but kid only has played 2 years and only attended. Yeah, we talked about that stroking the flame. Yeah, he hasn't played a lot of football, and FSU was apparently his first camp he ever attended. So Florida State Love says he okay. Hold on, guys. Now, here's the question. And I see a lot of people want to know about Shelton. Look, the dude is the 5th best wide receiver in the nation, 6'4". How do I feel about him? Look, if Mike can pull Shelton Samuel out of his ass, I will shut up. Does anybody have faith that that's going to happen, though? I would love for it to happen. I would absolutely love for us to get Shelton Samuel, especially since we can't seem to recruit any of them in the state. Give me the 2nd best player in the state of Louisiana. But everybody seems to be saying, he's 100% LSU at this point, but we'll see. Yeah, exactly. Shelton ain't coming in. Y'all feel how I feel. I would love to have him, but, come on, man. What do we think, man? Come on, man. I don't even want to hype y'all up about that. I don't want to hype y'all up. About that. But I hope we get him. So here's the issue, guys. And here's the bigger issue, okay? Again, Quindarius Jones, I think solid, man. And he won't stay unranked for long because we know how this works. Yeah, right. No. Here is the bigger issue, though. Why are we in positions that? Why at Florida State do we have a coach? Remember, was it like a week or two ago? We also got that commitment from the unranked wide receiver out of Texas that I think he jumped the gun because Mike Norvell didn't retweet that commitment. So I don't think he was an official commitment. But y'all remember that, though? Why are we in the position where we are looking at? I'm okay with going out there and scouting guys, finding your diamonds in the rough and trying to get them. But the concerning part of this is it seems like we're targeting too many of those caliber kids. That's the concerning part for me. It's okay to have your diamonds every now and, but man, you are not at Memphis. You can't build a roster off of diamonds in the rough because you don't have 4 or 5 years to develop them here at Florida State. I'm sorry, Mike, you don't. You need guys that are going to play now. Where are they? Where are they on the recruiting board? Who are they? Because I don't know. That's the concerning part. The 2023 class is not. I don't think we understand how detrimental last year was. Mike has to, and that's why I am on the 8-win bandwagon plus. Mike has to win 8-9 games. He has to. Because I don't know if we understand how detrimental last year was. Because this time last year, we were firing on all cylinders on the recruiting trail. Whatever they were selling last year, the kids were eating it up. All we had to do, I wholeheartedly believe all Mike had to do last year was make a bowl game, and we would have closed out extremely strong. And instead, he fumbled the bag. You go 5-7, and you see the way that recruiting cycle ended. We were on fire this time last year. We were on fire and now whatever they were selling last year, these kids ain't buying it because they done seen it. These kids ain't buying that no more, man. That's the problem that we have going into this year. That's why everybody that keeps saying, oh man, all you got to do is win a bowl game, get the 6-7 wins, we'll be fine in recruiting. No, we will not. These kids do. If you think the Sun Bowl is going to make Mike Norvell all of a sudden an elite recruiter, you're delusional. I understand some of y'all like him. I don't dislike the man. And I'm hoping that he succeeds. I'm only telling you how I feel, though. I'm only giving you my honest opinion on it. The Sun Bowl, the Pinstripe Bowl, the Cheez-It Bowl is not enough, people. He has to make a splash in year 3. Whether that's fair or unfair, who cares? I don't make the rules. He has to make a splash in year 3, or no, he's not going to get that bump in recruiting like everybody thinks. It's just the facts. He was given that grace period last year. If he would have went 6 or 7 games last year, again, I believe they close out fairly strong. You probably hold on to Travion Williams, probably hold on to some of these other kids. Probably hold on to Devon. Maybe you close on Tyree West. Maybe Travis Hunter doesn't go with Dion. You never know, but you understand what I'm trying to say? If you would have got to the Cheez-It Bowl last year, that would have been the right trajectory. That would have been on par. We would have said, okay, we make a stride. You went from 3 wins to the Cheez-It Bowl. Hey, I ain't mad at that. That was the expectation. But for some reason in year 3, we think that that's okay. I can't do it. And if you are one of those people that believe in year 3, he can go 6-7 and think that recruiting is going to take this imaginary steep. I don't know what you're smoking. Maybe are you related to Mike Norvell? Is he your cousin or something? I understand you want Florida State to be good, but the realistic, just the real of the situation is go 6-6 or 7-5 if you want to, and see how that plays out for you. We'll have another 20 ranked recruiting class. Guarantee it. I guarantee it. Let's go to the comments, man. Let's go to the comments. Let me okay, we left off talking about Shelton, and everybody pretty much saying Shelton ain't coming here. Montre does say if we beat LSU, it might get. If we beat LSU, not only does the recruiting get interesting, the season gets interesting if you beat LSU. You beat LSU, they beat LSU. I'll guarantee you 8-9 wins if you beat LSU. I'll guarantee it. The entire season gets interesting if you beat LSU. Sam, we can't land blue chip skill guys anymore. Jimbo told me he's coming back to FSU for a farewell tour. Dustin Hill's in Oak Cliff with me working. If he's working with you, we're in worse shape than we thought. I'm honestly surprised we aren't seeing more guys like Jermaine coming to FSU, guys that don't get a lot of PT at bigger schools, but are looking for playing time to make the NFL. Well, guys also want to win. Guys also want to win, though, man. Can't make finding diamonds in the rough. You can't make it the norm is the problem. Again, you can't build a roster off of it stroking the flame. That's my issue. Joe says Hill working on his route running at Guantanamo Bay. Man, he a prisoner of war now? Agree, Polk. Mike recruit like he has more time. Too many diamonds in the rough equal a lot of bling with no ring. I'm going to keep that comment up there for a little bit. Bingo. A lot of bling. A lot of cubic zirconium. That's what it is. A lot of fake diamonds. We have diamonds with the 22 class. We have some. What's up, young man? What you want?
But I'm on TV.
Okay, wait, and then I'll let you watch TV. Go downstairs. Here he is. Go downstairs. And close the door. Too many diamonds. Okay, we have some. Adrian, close the door. Go and close the door. Because he's a small school coach, you answered the question. I'm with you. 8 wins is a must. And I'll be honest, I don't think he's back next year. We need a coach that's going to make players be like, damn, I want to play for him and this team. Mike doesn't have what it takes to convince players to come here. Mike is on the hot seat. We need Mark. Why don't our QB commits like competition? I don't think Parsons is going anywhere, but his actions got him looking real sus right now. I agree, too. I think his actions got him looking a little sus. But again, I don't care if we lose Parson. I won't say I don't care. Obviously, I would care if we lose him and don't end up with anybody. But I do think there's some other guys out there. Basically, what I'm saying is we picked up another guy, but Parsons decided to go elsewhere. I wouldn't be too mad about that. I'm really glad that we ain't got that momentum in the summer. You're glad that we don't have the momentum, and I don't even know how that makes sense. Somebody want to address Timmy because that comment don't even make sense. You always want momentum. Why do you not want momentum? That doesn't make sense to me, but okay. Say they win 8. Are coaching changes? They should still make coaching changes. Absolutely. Absolutely. Because I can name, look, the only way Dugans can remain on the staff is if he lands some of these big time receivers. Then I think it's hard to cut bait with them. If you land the kid out of Louisiana, maybe a couple of these guys from Florida. Who's the one? Hakeem? Is it Hakeem Williams and Jalen? Adrian, hush. Or get out. Who's it? Jalen Brown. Yeah, you land some of these guys, then I think Dugan stays. But if they win 8 games, despite the fact that wide receiver recruiting is still looking how it's looking, Dugans has to go. I still don't know why Chris Thompson is on this staff. I don't know what he does. Somebody can tell me why is Chris. I don't know what Chris Thompson does. Don't know why he's on this this coaching staff. He can go as far as I'm concerned. I don't know Coach Yak. Some people are saying move Coach Yak to receiver coach and bring in a running back coach, which may be the move. Close the door. But I think you still got to make some changes. Absolutely. If Mike gets fired, I want Dion. He ain't proven, but his celebrity says NIL connection could really help. Alfred ain't playing. He has no ties to Mike. I see speed, physical. Dion has said that FSU is his dream job. We need to be aggressive. Mike too soft. We will be 7-5 this year, sadly, and our recruiting again will be the 22nd ranked recruiting class, and nothing will change. If that's the case, I'm just telling you how it's going to end up. We'll be in the 20s in recruiting, and nothing will change. I got us winning LSU by 3. I'm hoping LSU starts Daniels. I think they do. I'm kind of hoping the same. Art Davis, what's up, Irv? How many helmet stickers you plan on putting on the helmet? I hope I get to use all of them, but we'll see. I hope I get to use all of them. I think it's all about how we beat LSU. If it goes like Notre Dame game last season, but we get the dub, I don't think it gives us momentum on the recruiting trail. A win always does. A win, prime time. That's going to be Labor Day weekend. We should be that's going to be a Sunday, I believe, the only game on television. I don't want to hear that. You beat LSU. I don't care if you beat them by 1 point. I don't care if you beat them by 31 points. You beat LSU, you get the momentum. You are going to raise some eyebrows, point blank, period. You know why? Because in the years past, Mike wasn't able to win those type of games. So that shows you something if he can win the type of games. I don't care if it's by 3 or 33. You beat LSU, you're absolutely going to raise some eyebrows around college football. You can't be giving this grace period and then lose out on number 1 prospect in the country to an HBCU. And that being on the heels of you losing to an FCS school at home. Tragic, bro. What up, Reality Music? Checking in on POLK. Let's go Knowles. Like Chris Tucker, money talks more now than before in college football. Money and playing time. People mention Mark Stoops. If he comes in and doesn't win, the players we have, how many seasons does he get before people? Well, Mark Stoops is a little bit more proven, right? I don't think, and the program is more stable. So I don't know, man. I don't know. Because look what happened when we had the momentum. Well, that's because they fumbled the season. That's because if they just had went 6-6 last year, believe it or not, if they just had made a bowl game last year, I'd much rather have the momentum than not have it. It's a lot easier to maintain something than try to get it. Right now, you're working uphill. I don't know what he does. Dugan won't be back. I agree. Dugan's been laying duds for years. 8-13, they're the same. If you want to 9-12, I guess is better. I mean, if you want to be technical about it, 1 win is better. It's those uniforms. Ever since we switched, it's been downhill from there. Maybe he's saying momentum can be detrimental to Mike because he might work harder from behind, which might be true after starting on 4th. I hope not. This new AD isn't trying to see a 6-6. I agree with that. We beat Miami. And did we get any recruits that weekend last season? No, because we already started 0-4 and lost to Jacksonville State. So that's not really a good example. That's not really a good example, unfortunately. Yes, we did beat Miami, but by then we had already been 0-4. Probably the last time we won an opener. That year we beat Ole Miss. I would have to, if I had to guess, that's the last time we started 2-0. We get the win 8, or I might go into my yearly FSU depression. 2016, that's a shame. Travis Hunter was going to whatever college Dion was at. Don't care what school he was at and what NIL. Again, maybe, but maybe not. Can you explain what NIL is and how it works? I still don't understand it, but it's pay for play at this point. Until there's some rules and regulations to it, NIL is pay how much colleges are going to offer, and that's all it is at this point. That's what NIL is, to be honest with you. There's no rules. There's no real structure to it. Kids are just being bought at this point. What else, man? But that's really it, guys. I mean, don't be upset about the recruitment of that young man out of Mississippi. Be worried that you won't hold on to him once he finally gets a bump up in the rankings. That's what you should be worried about. Be worried that for whatever reason we have no real traction with any of the major prospects in Florida. That's what you should be worried about. That's the problem. So when I asked the question in the title of this video, is FSU dead on the recruiting trail? I don't know if we're dead, but man, we are dying. I don't see too many top tier guys considering Florida State. Every time I'm on Twitter and these top guys are dropping top 5, FSU's name isn't on it. I see Miami, unfortunately. I see Florida, unfortunately, but I ain't seeing us. Somebody want to name me the wide receiver out of Louisiana? He's probably the best player that we have on the board right now. I mean, what do you guys think? Do y'all think we're dead or dying? What do you guys think? Jordan Travis is going to have to save Norvell like Curry is doing for Kerr. Travis needs to stay healthy and have a big-time season, become a top QB in the ACC. If he does that, yeah, that will save Mike. That will save Mike. If Jordan Travis can all of a sudden grow into something, that might save him. Did y'all talk about Damon David? No, we didn't talk about Damon David. Bro, I don't even know. Oh, yes, we did. I did talk about him. I'm sorry. I talked about him. That's the guy. That's the jit out of Oregon. Yeah, we talked about him. And I hope we get him too. Come on, only 8 likes. Oh, wait a minute. Only 8. Man, I know you lying, Robert. Hold on. Let me check. Y'all done made me go a whole hour, and man, I'm finna cuss y'all out. I done had 70 plus people. Okay, 43 likes. I mean, get my likes up. We done had almost 70 people in here. No, we had over 70 people at one point. 69 right now. I need at least 60 likes. I should go for the whole 70, but I get my likes up. Y'all been trying me lately with these likes, y'all. Y'all getting too comfortable, man. Get my likes up. Get my likes up. I believe our defense, ESPN thinks we have a top 15 defense. Now, that was a shocker to me. I was thinking, hey, if we can get a top 30 defense, we can have a somewhat successful season. Top 50, if we legit have a top 15 defense, 8-4 should be the floor, guys. 8 wins should be the top 15. Think of top 15 defense. Think about that. Think about that. And that's what ESPN is projecting us, a top 15 defense. Oh, absolutely, Ardavius. We're not dead, but we are badly wounded. It is early in recruiting. You're absolutely right. But this is the time of year you're supposed to be making the top 6s, the top 5s, the top 4s. Timmy said we are in the top 6 for Hakeem, so that's a good thing, right? Again, I need to see more of those. You don't want to be playing makeup. You want to be in the top now, and then by the time the season starts, you're already in the mix. But right now, we're hoping that all of a sudden we have this great season and that we can play catch up during mid-season. And that's not the way you should be recruiting, or that's not how you should be approaching recruiting. You should be approaching recruiting the way they did last year, in my opinion. The problem with FSU is they don't have a system or identity for the football team, like Alabama, Clemson, Patriots, for example. It should be defense. I've been saying defense. Y'all know how I feel about defense. Florida State's identity should be defense. People saying we do have a top. That's what it is. Again, ESPN put it out there. Take, grain of salt. It's ESPN. ESPN is about as reliable as War Chant. So with a grain of salt. But top 15 defense, you can't tell me FSU's lining up a top 15 defense and then try to justify a 6-win team or 7-win team. No, you cannot justify that, in my opinion. UF is making a lot of top lists, but still remains to be seen if they land them. But that's the thing is, CV is my point is, but at least you're in the mix. If Napier can have a decent enough season, you'll get, you could get these, you'll get some of them. I'm not even going to try to pronounce that, but getting Harris was nice. Moved to center. May not be a true center prospect, but he's the number one. He was like the 20th ranked guard. We have to rely on our defense this season. We are in a lot of top 5s, but never picked. Not enough players want to come play for a weak team. So, yeah, man, we got to. I don't know, man. I think we got to pick it up. Hold on, Joe. Hold on. Yeah. What's Clemson? Well, we know. I would say Clemson's identity is maybe shifts more towards defense in the recent years, but for the last decade, it's been quarterback and offense. I mean, Clemson literally went through a string of Taj Boyd, Sammy Watkins, D-Hop. Then they go to Deshaun and I don't know whoever they had catching balls then. And then you got Trevor Lawrence and ETN. I mean, offense of firepower has been Clemson's identity for the last decade. Let's just be real. Wide receivers and quarterbacks have been Clemson's identities for the last 10 years. That may be shifting now to a defensive team because but maybe Cade Klubnik, maybe he, gets that quarterback room back on track, but DJ sure wasn't or isn't that good. It wasn't that good last year. We'll see what he does. We need to rely on our defense this season like Georgia did to win the Natty. Yeah, QB and usually one of the top D line. And they did have a string of good defensive lines for most of that same time period. They had a string of good D linemen too. So, Clemson has an identity. We've seen Bama change their identity with the time. Remember, Bama used to be running back factory. Adrian, you got to be quiet, buddy. Bama had Bama was a running back factory with Yeldon and Henry and Mark Ingram and Trent Richardson. And now Bama has sort of switched to a quarterback system, and then they've always had the receivers from Julio to Amari Cooper to Calvin Ridley, and so they still getting receivers out there. All these teams have an identity. I don't know what our identity is. We need to be DBU to win again. That's the only thing we still producing. I think Miami, we don't have an identity. We ain't played a game yet. I don't think Miami has, to be honest with Kane Zay. I think he said it. They got a whole new system over there, so I'm not sure what Miami's identity is either. looking at Cristobal, you would assume running the football will be their identity, but it remains to be seen what happens there. Defense and running game is our identity, and we need to ride that until we get an elite QB. I think Benson, Pittman, and Wright can carry this offense when Jordan goes down. Somebody's got to get Pittman and Wright the ball, though. You know? So I don't know. I don't know about that. Just like any successful business, you need systems to be successful. Benson, maybe. If you said Benson and Ward can carry the offense potentially, then I might be with you there, Timmy. Benson and Ward, maybe throw on some LT. But if you're talking about Pittman and Wright, I mean, you got to get him the ball. Jordan goes down. Can we get him the ball? I'm not too sure. Can't be all over the place with identity and systems. Isn't Wright not even walking yet? No, I saw a video of Wright running through the tunnel. Most of y'all might have seen that too. Winston Wright was running. Now, is he a full go? No, I don't think he's doing any of that. And it wasn't like a sprint. He was like jogging through the tunnel. Guys were getting ready for like a workout or practice or something. I think Corey Fuller put it on his Twitter. But Winston Wright is back around the team. I did not notice if he had like a brace or anything on. I don't recall that. But he was running, or at least like jogging through the tunnel. So he's definitely walking. I think our linebackers will be improved. My worry is if one goes down. But I think Bethune and DeLoach are going to be a nice combo. I think being able to bring Lundy off of the bench, especially now that he's not a full-time starter, you can use Lundy in packages and in situations where he can excel as a run stuffer. I think that's going to really help Lundy. And you can take him out of the game in obvious passing situations where he has struggled. Amari Gainer's still an X factor. You feel me? I'm looking at Amari Gainer's pictures on his social media. He looks the part, bro. Amari Gainer's kind of always looked the part. We've always known he's an athlete, that he has physical tools, but he just doesn't, they just don't know how to use him. Is he a stand-up linebacker? Is he an edge rusher? But he's a little bit too small to be an edge rusher in this system. But Gainer's there. Lundy's there. I think your two starting guys are really good. Again, I worry if injuries happen to that room. But other than that, man, I like the linebacking core, actually. That's good to hear, Robert, or not. You hate. Yeah, I agree. I agree. It's about the trenches, so we'll go from there. Cristobal is about the trenches, so we'll go from there. Like I said, running game. We need elite young wide receivers, not grad transfers. They say Wright will be ready game one, but I will sit him until LSU game. I think you play him. I understand why you're saying that, Montre, but I think you play him. You know why? Use that game to get some rhythm, get some cohesion in the passing game. Use that game to get Wright comfortable. Get him and Travis at least, on some type of connection. I would play him. Even if it's just for a quarter or a half, I would play Wright. I would play Wright in that game. You don't want, in my opinion, you don't want to put Wright in there cold against LSU. And now him and Jordan Travis, when the bullets are flying, they bring in an all-out blitz, they ain't on the same page. So Travis think he's running one route, or Travis calls an audible, and that's supposed to be maybe a go route because he sees something. Maybe the safety's blitzing, and he sees something and tries to go over the top. Winston Wright don't understand the call, and he runs something. Play the first game together. Get everything on the same page. Don't go in there cold against LSU because it's going to be full speed. Adrian, close my door. Or go back outside. Go outside and close my door. Go.
Outside?
Yeah, go.
Okay.
That kid won't leave me alone. Where did they have AZ playing? Oh, he's a corner. He's a corner. Who's saying Wright will be ready? I'm out of the loop. Oh, that's just what's being reported all around. Is that Wright will be ready. Just a quarter. All right, no squad, holla at you. And yeah, AZ was never recruited as a backer, but no, he's playing corner. He's playing corner. So yeah, man, I would play Wright again, whether it's a quarter or a half. I would play him, y'all. I would play him. But ultimately, guys, I think don't be upset about the guys we got committed this past weekend. I think both of them are intriguing in their own way. Don't expect – what's up, BB? Don't expect that young man I forgot his name that quick. Jones, isn't that his name? But anyway, don't expect him to be a 0-star forever. That's obviously going to eventually change. Again, be more worried about whether or not they keep him. That's what you should be. That's what you should be worried about. I still believe you can make Benson the next guy to step up once Jordan goes down. I think McClain is the most talented receiver. Absolutely. I think McClain is the most talented. Does he have the quarterback that can bring that talent out, and can McClain put it all together? But I mean, we don't have another wide receiver on the roster that really looks like him, in my opinion, with the exception of Johnny. You know, Johnny's 6'7", but if you've seen Malik looks the part. Tara with another super chat. Shout out to my girl. She says, I live in GA. Get all kind of BS for not being a Georgia fan. And all I'm saying is I need no less than 9. That's what I'm talking about. Hold them to a standard. We need high expectations. All that 6 and 7 win junk, get that out of here. No less than 9. Tired of hearing GA fans. She's tired of hearing the GA fans just saying, I'm with you. You get 9 wins, your recruiting takes off, no doubt. But if y'all think 7 wins is going to get this recruiting on the right track, you're in for a rude awakening. I promise you that. But shout out to Tara, man, with the $10. Once again, she coming in, showing the love, and she ain't speaking nothing but the truth.
Clickety clank, clickety clank. The money goes into my piggy bank.
They putting Rodemaker in the backfield with Travis against bruh. I ain't mad at it. The way they do it, that wouldn't shock me. It wouldn't even shock me. That's what they did last year. It wouldn't even shock me, man. I think Johnny Wilson is a wild card. I agree. If he can get it together, you got something serious on that receiver rotation. So shout out to Coach Norvell. He really put us to work today at camp. I'm worried about Johnny. What are you worried about? What are you worried about? Clickety clank. But man, 67 people, y'all hit the like button. Y'all still ain't get me to 60. We're at 57. Like, I don't understand it. Can't even get me to 60. Some of y'all, I'm starting to get a little I know the guys that come in here and watch me all the time. I know they ain't holding out on the likes. Some of y'all watching me and not ringing my doorbell. Y'all coming into my house. You're not ringing my doorbell. You're not introducing yourself. And I'm starting to have a problem with it. Johnny and Ja'Kai is a wild card. Ja'Kai is the guy. I'm with you. Ja'Kai is the slot guy that Ja'Kai should have been being used so much more the past 2 years. And now I feel like with the addition of Pittman and Wright, I almost feel like Ja'Kai's snaps get reduced when they should be being increased. Every time you've ever needed a big play, Ja'Kai has been the guy. But for some reason, they've wanted to make him a running back, and he's never been that. I don't know what they saw in that, but he's never been that. But with Wright and Pittman, you might, Ja'Kai's he's gonna fight. He's gonna have to fight for that slot, and I think they're gonna work Ontario Wilson. Don't sleep on Ontario. I've always told you he's not a 1, but Ontario can be a dangerous 2 or 3. I'll make Douglas the X Factor. Ain't seen no elite DB. That's what I was just saying, Timmy. Like anytime you've ever needed a big play from Ja'Kai, he's been able to deliver. He has underrated speed. Just go watch the tape. He runs right by guys. We don't have a star receiver. Agreed. I hope Malik McClain becomes that. As of right now, we just have a bunch of guys. We have a group of guys. Nobody's emerged as the guy. I agree with that. James Timmons, what's going on? Joe says they're not ringing the doorbell, just kicking their feet up. Bruh, you feel me? They just come in my house, don't say what's up, go straight to the refrigerator. Like, at least say, hello, how you doing, sir? What's going on? Like, man, 70 people in here and I can't get 60 likes. I should have a like for each person watching, but that's okay. I believe you, CV. I know you hit it. Again, I know most of y'all in the chat hit it. It's the people that are just watching in the background that don't want to hit that like button. But what else y'all got for me? Because that's really it, man. Again, Woody, just to recap what we talked about this evening, Antavius Woody has been cleared. He's cleared academically. He'll be arriving on campus tomorrow, allegedly. But from all accounts, everybody's reporting that the man has cleared it, that he academically qualified, and that's another old lineman that we add for depth. Again, if it was me, if I was Odell, I'd be talking to Atkins, playing rock, paper, scissors, trying to get Woody over here to that defensive tackle room. But again, I don't think Atkins gives him up. So that's another O-lineman you add to the mix. Shout out to Woody, man. I'm very happy that he academically qualified. That means he worked hard to get that. So shout out to Woody. We talked about a couple transfer guys that were on campus this past week. The South Carolina offensive tackle and the Oregon safety. I want both of them. We need both of them. I want both of them. Let's see if we can close in on those guys. What else we talked about? And then, of course, we talked about, the JUCO DN, and we talked about recruiting, man. And we got 2 commits, one from a JUCO, one from a kid out of Mississippi, unranked, but I wouldn't worry too much. I think both are solid gets. I think both are solid takes. So at this point, we got work to do, y'all. We got work to do, but that's on, that's, again, man, I don't know how to really, I don't know. I don't know how you really, I don't know, man. I don't know how you really quantify this stuff, man. I don't know how you quantify this stuff. Do you think Caden starts? Caden Lyles? Yeah, I think he's your starting center for sure. Smith says he's out yet. Just got here, but I definitely hit that button. Much respect. Appreciate you. Why is Louisville out recruiting FSU? Did you check the recruiting rankings, New King God? Because we're out recruiting y'all. Y'all are 44. We're 26. And Louisville's in the top 10 at number 8. So last time I checked, Louisville's out recruiting both of us. So you got a lot of nerve to ask that dumb question. Look, I believe the terrible offensive line we have had for the past 3 years, how can we expect to have a bunch of wins and 5-star players wanting to come? Give it some time. It's changing. I'm more worried about quarterback than the O-line. And I've only been preaching that for a while. We need to be in the top 3 in the ACC to get blue chips. Bro, you the one that brought it up, not me. You the one brought up that dumb comment. You the one talking about Louisville, not me. But keep holding your hat on that. Since DJ gone, who do you think will be behind Ward? And it's LT, obviously. Told Philly, who I was already going to be behind. I think that's one of the reasons why DJ left, because I think Told Philly was already in that spot. So I don't think that's a problem. Yeah. Oh, yeah, he should. Honestly, I would have, barring some catastrophe, you never know with these guys that we got coaching this team. Barring a catastrophe, Jordan Travis should only have to play at most the first half. Like, at halftime, this thing should be 42 zip. And if that, and I would play Duffy a quarter and Rodemaker a quarter personally. That's just me though. I would put Duffy out there if I got a chance. Norvell not recruiting Florida to a high level will be his downfall. Well, there's a lot of things that may end up being his downfall, but we'll see. Luke Burgess about to commit to FSU. Yet another 3-star commit. Not official yet, but he's next. Let's look him up. I don't even know who that is. Bro, I don't even know who that is. Let's see here. Luke Burgess. 247. Offensive tackle. They got him crystal ball to Louisville, but 6'7", 285. Hey, I'm cool with that. First of all, O-lineman, I ain't too worried about the O-lineman. So, I'm not too worried about the O-lineman. I would say with signing 6 this past year, my only criticism is you've given yourself, when you sign 6 O-linemen in one class, you give yourself enough leeway that in this class, they really should be targeting the elite of the elite. Like, they should be targeting the top O-linemen out there. Not saying Luke, but if they evaluated Burgers and they think he's, maybe better than right now, he's a 3-star, the 34th ranked at his position, 6th ranked player in the state of Indiana. He's the top. He's a 418th ranked player, so it's not terrible. An O-lineman might be the hardest position to evaluate. You can go watch a bunch of old 5-star O-linemen bust out, and then you can watch, unranked O-linemen end up going to the NFL all the time. But I would kind of be targeting the top guys at that O-line personally, because you gave yourself enough leeway with this last class that you can afford to. You're not recruiting for numbers in this cycle. Atkins can afford to try to really go out there and get the guy at offensive line. We should win Duquesne 44-13 or some lose that. 44-13, I would say more than that. I mean, think about it. We put like 50 on UMass, I think, something like that. But if it's 44 at halftime and then you throw your second string quarterback and you throw Duffy in there, maybe the offense stalls in the second half, I can see that. We're around 5-7. We don't get to be disappointed about 3 stars. I heard we're gaining traction with Run. Did you hear that? Because I have not heard that we are gaining traction with him. So look who came in to join us, Norvell Central. Maybe Norvell Central has information on that, but I haven't heard anything on that. We need players to stay healthy. That's another one of our downfalls. Players get hurt every play. Get my man POLK likes up. Do you remember Noel Devine? I absolutely remember Noel Devine. His son Andre Devine plays for North Fort Myers High School. He got another son named Noel Devine Jr. playing Pop Warner. Check out their tapes. I definitely remember Noel Devine, man. Went to West Virginia. T2Y, how you doing? How was that movie? Let me know. I got to check it out. Mr. H in the building, what's going on? Norvell Central says, Timmy, they have always been in communication with Wilson, but UGA is the team to watch for there. I'm back at it, man. What you doing in Puerto Rico? I know you lying, my man in Puerto Rico. This time last year, I think I was in Puerto Rico. So I don't blame you. UF is supposedly gaining with Wilson. So now everybody's gaining with Wilson. There you go. It was only all right. Oh, man, it was only all right. Our first game, in my opinion, will tell me everything I need to know. I don't think the first game with Duquesne is going to tell you anything you really need to know, to be honest with you. That ghost receiver is still coming. I don't even know who you're talking about. I don't even know who you're talking about. Bigfoot. Bigfoot. That's who he is. The Loch Ness Monster on the recruiting trail. The infamous. But, man, that's all I got tonight, guys. Appreciate y'all for coming and kicking with me for an hour and 30-some-odd minutes. Hit that like button, guys. If you tuned in late, man, go back and watch it. I appreciate y'all. Again, man, it's June, and you just got to be patient, I guess. I'm past patience. I'm past it. For me, there's no only thing that can save Mike is, again, winning. And if I'm looking at these people and ESPN is talking about a top 15 defense and all these things that I'm seeing, I think they had the offense ranked in the top 30-ish, if I'm not mistaken. Somebody can correct me on that one. Look, man, you have a top 15 defense. Y'all know how I feel. I'm just ready for this season to start because I want to see them win some games. Because nothing else is going to solve the problem. And in year 3, that should be the year where you start winning some games. I hear that. I don't think Brown will stay committed to Oklahoma. Well, he might as well not come then because he ain't starting game 1. But that's all I got for y'all today, man. As always, it's your boy, man, over here on 863 Seminole TV. What do you think? What do you think we will be ranked? To start the season, we ain't ranked. To finish the season, that's never know. Never know. Just get me the wins and let the ranking, lay where, the ranking to come where it comes. Just get the wins up. I agree, man. All the talking, it don't even make sense at this point. I'm going to give my thoughts. I'm going to give my opinions on what's going on when news breaks, when things happen, but ain't no more capping, right? It's just I'm going to give my honest opinion, but at the end of the day, Mike got to go win some games, bro. Mike got to go win some games. And we said the same thing last year this time, win games. And so you can only say it for so long. But I'm telling you right now, with Alfred, you see what he did to the baseball program this past weekend. If Mike thinks he's safe after seeing what Mike Alfred got going on with the baseball coach, what happened with the soccer coach, the extension they gave the women's softball. Mike Alfred's making moves in the athletic program, guys. And Mike should be on alert. That's all I'm going to say. Mike should be on alert. But as always, man, y'all stay classy. It's your boy POLK Around 860, Seminole TV. Go Noles, and we out here. And I'll get back with y'all sometime this week, especially if some news break. I'll get back with y'all sometime this week. I'm out here, guys. Y'all have a good rest of y'all night.